What's up, everybody? Welcome back to In the Grass Podcast. I'm Steven. This is my co-host, my brother, Mikey.
What's up, guys?
We're here to bring you just some cool, refreshing takes on NFL, maybe even other sports, some other stuff. If you want to reach out to us, hit us up. You can email us at inthegrasspod@gmail.com. Or if you're on Twitter, you can follow us at inthegrasspod on Twitter. Follow us. Send us a message on there, tweet at us, whatever. If you've got a question, if you've got a topic, if you want to be a guest on the show, I mean, we're got no limitations. If you have your own podcast already, or if you don't, if you just have an opinion, you want to have a conversation, hit us up. So today's episode, we're going to be talking about the NFC South, which I think is going to be one of the more exciting divisions to watch this year in the
Definitely.
NFL.
Especially with Tom Brady joining the group, it's going to be, the whole division's up in the air.
Tom Brady coming in, leaving his post where he's been his whole life, basically. My whole life. It's going to be a good change of scenery. Let's start there. Let's start with the Bucs. Tom Brady, boom.
Yeah.
The Bucs haven't made the playoffs in 12 years. Tom Brady hasn't missed the playoffs in 12 years or 11 years, whatever it is. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, kind of see what happens. It could be up in the air.
He's got weapons this year, not just Mike Evans, but he's got Gronk coming back. I saw Gronk on Fox last year. What was he, about 185 pounds? Hopefully he's hitting those weights right now and eating a lot of Raisin Bran.
You know he is. You know he's getting into shape.
He's fueling up. He's getting in shape. He's getting in Gronk mode again. One thing I'm not sure about, and I touched on this in my Tom Brady video that I posted this past weekend. Check that one out. What's the running game going to look like? I don't have anything written down.
Well, you got Ronald Jones, who, everybody had hype on him last year. So
he was one of those fantasy kind of pickups or roll the dice kind of thing if you were doing the daily.
He had the one game, I think, that was kind of his breakeout game. And
if you had him that game, you were probably happy that week.
But he had 6 total touchdowns for the year, which, a lot of room. And they also drafted, who was it? Keyshawn Vaughn.
Okay.
Don't know much about him, but...
Yeah, he's going to be sitting behind number 12 out there. TB12 or TB squared, Tampa Bay, Tom Brady. So he's got those down the field weapons, but he's more of a, let's throw the ball no more than 10 yards down the field lately.
Slants and to the running backs.
Is there a Julian Edelman type receiver? He's got some really good receivers. I'm sure it probably doesn't matter.
Evans is you can put him anywhere.
Yeah.
And he'll get the ball.
So definitely going to be looking forward to seeing Tom Brady in that uniform, which, they've tweeted out photos already. He looks like he's got the Vince Vaughn Major League haircut.
Yeah, he might need to change up the haircut.
I like it. I think that's cool. The uniform looks really good. Those Nike uniforms are really good looking. Pretty much every team looks pretty nice in those.
Yeah, he looks good in those colors.
Yeah, Bruce Arians, Tom Brady. They're going to be airing the ball out. They're going to be
airing the fuck out of the ball. And Mike Evans with Godwin and Gronk and even O.J. Howard. And you got Cameron Brate, too. You got 3 tight ends who...
Right.
You got so many options.
With Tom Brady coming to this division, you've already had quarterback matchups in this division in years past. Drew Brees versus Matt Ryan twice a year. Every year for the last 10 years,
Yeah.
Now you throw Tom Brady into the mix. Tom Brady's going to be playing Drew Brees twice. He's going to play Matt Ryan twice, hopefully, knock on wood. What quarterback matchup in the division are you looking forward to most?
Well, Drew Brees and Tom Brady.
Yes.
Just because, they're kind of compared
the numbers. If you stacked all their records on pieces of paper, both of those guys, it would you would have to rip out 2 notebooks worth of paper.
Yeah, Drew Brees holds a bunch of quarterback records, and he holds his own.
Yeah. So mentioning Drew Brees, let's move on from the Bucs. Let's talk about the Saints. Let's talk about Drew Brees. He's one of those guys that you just put him back there. It doesn't matter that he's only 5 feet tall. He's going to air the ball out. He somehow gets it over his offensive line, and he's got guys down there that just want the ball.
Right. And you can't forget the 2 running backs they got.
I'm saying those are his weapons down the field too. I mean, those are targets.
That's something that they got the advantage over Tampa Bay. They got a good running game and receivers out the backfield.
What's the Kamara stat with his receptions?
81 3 years in a row, which is
81 catches 3 years in a row.
Impressive.
Exactly. I like it. I hope he gets 81 this year.
Yeah, that would keep it going.
They've got Emmanuel Sanders.
He joined it.
Man, that dude
knows if he's going to be healthy enough to stay on the field, but when he's there,
I'll take Emmanuel Sanders at 80% if I can have him.
Yeah, I might get 65.
I'll take that too. Jameis Winston. This is a interesting, ingredient to add to that already.
Yeah, I'm pretty
potent
sure
brew.
Just a little insurance. Drew Brees hurt last year.
I like Taysom Hill. Maybe not from a fantasy perspective. Again, I'm not here to offer fantasy advice. I'm just here to give my take. And I'm a Taysom Hill guy. I want him to get as many touches.
He's exciting to watch.
Yeah,
as every many time touches he comes on the field, he's definitely getting the ball. Some way.
And it doesn't matter. Yeah. It's kind of like in baseball, you got those guys, the Mariano Rivera. You know what's coming. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter.
It's hard to
he's so good at the one thing. But with Taysom Hill, he can come at you from anywhere. That's it. And returning punts or kickoffs or whatever he does. So.
Yeah, he's always, every time he touches the field, he does something great.
I don't know if I'm misremembering it. Maybe I'm building on the legend of Taysom Hill, but was there a blocked kick somewhere?
No, wouldn't put it past him. He seems like a baller. He's out there to fucking play.
Maybe not the last thing we talk about with the Saints here, but maybe it's worth bringing up. Sean Payton, head coach, got tested positive for coronavirus.
Yeah,
It sounds like that was months ago. Who knows? Maybe he's completely cured. Maybe he's immune to it now. Maybe he can offer his own blood as some sort of elixir for others to take. Who knows?
He's got the remedy.
Yeah, maybe he can help Ezekiel Elliott out. Unfortunately, he's been tested positive this week.
That's going to be crazy. Coming in, just people testing positive for corona, what's going to be the protocol?
Yeah, and while we're on the subject, I hope the season starts on time. I hope we get all 16 games of the season and all the playoffs. I probably wasn't going to be able to go to a game this year, so I don't care if any fans are able to watch live in the stands, but I'll want to watch live on TV like I do all the time, which probably the experience is a little bit better at home anyways.
Yeah, obviously.
Let's talk the Falcons. Matty Ice, is he still there?
He's there.
He's there.
He's been there. He's still doing his Matty Ice thing. Just kind of mediocre type. He had the MVP season.
MVP?
Took the Super Bowl.
If we didn't watch that fourth quarter, we would think they have a Super Bowl championship right now.
Yeah.
Game for the ages. Todd Gurley, is that right?
Yeah, Todd Gurley added there.
Todd Gurley.
I just seen 12 touchdowns last year.
Todd Gurley?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
he's bringing something to the table.
Yeah.
He was one of those guys that I remember Todd Gurley in college. Him, Nick Chubb, Sony Michel, all in the same
trio.
backfield. They're at Georgia, running between the hedges. This guy, he's got those knee injuries, and they were trying to protect him. They held him out a little bit at the beginning of the season, but kind of unleashed him down the stretch.
Right.
And that was something to watch. Todd Gurley is always, really one of those guys you want to keep your eyes on the dude because he can bust him off.
A couple years ago,
he helps out. Julio Jones, what's going on? Anybody know?
He's been healthy past couple years, so I think he's had like 15 games played in the last couple years. So
yeah, let's hope he sees some major time on the field.
He's still going to be the number one.
That's something I'd like to see. He's the number one receiver. Who's the other guy also out of Alabama? The wideout.
Ridley, I think he went to Georgia, didn't he?
Oh, did he? No. Oh, maybe. Anyways, Falcons. I want to talk real quick about a couple of additions that they've made to their team, not including Todd Gurley. This one here is on the defensive side, actually. Charles Harris. He was a first-round draft pick a few years ago out of Miami by the Dolphins. Acquired via trade. He's an edge rusher. This could be his... He was a former first-rounder. Whatever happened in Miami, I guess it didn't work out.
For a lot of people.
This is maybe not completely his fault. Who can be held to blame there? This could be his last shot, though. So he's going to be coming off the edge. He's going to be firing up all the other defensive players for the Falcons.
And they're definitely going to need the help. Their defense took a big hit last year. And, they had a bunch of injuries on defense, but still.
Ranked 31st in defense? Was that them?
No, that was Carolina.
Oh, okay.
22nd for Atlanta, which is still.
Okay. I mean, if Atlanta can get 22nd in defense this year, I'm sure that they would be fine with that.
Yeah.
But maybe if they can kind of move up, adding guys like Charles Harris, the defensive end, the edge rusher, that's what you want to do. Offensive.
The problem was, I think the offensive line. They have bad defense and bad offensive line.
Yeah.
It's hard to they allowed 50 sacks last year.
Wow.
That was ranked 5th most.
Hard to believe 4 other teams out there allowing more than 50 sacks.
And they were ranked 5th in offense. So even having that bad offensive line, they were airing the ball out.
The guy was throwing from his bat. Yeah. Speaking of offensive line, this isn't an offensive lineman, but he's a tight end. He's pretty close there. But he's a pass catcher. Hayden Hurst. You might remember this guy.
Yeah.
25th pick by the Ravens in 2018. So just a couple years ago. Former first rounder.
Did he play his first year? I can't even remember.
He didn't have a good time in Baltimore.
Yeah.
That's
a lot of hype, though.
A lot of hype coming out of college, this guy. There is some would call it a power vacuum left by Austin Hooper, who got that contract. Make your money, my man.
Cleveland's just stacking talent over there.
As a guy who's drafted a Cleveland Browns tight end fairly early in the last few fantasy drafts, I'll tell you, Austin Hooper,
first round.
I don't know. Maybe I'll see you when I see you, Austin Hooper.
Yeah, and he got hurt last year too. I think he missed a couple games. So.
Something interesting about Hayden Hurst: he was drafted before Lamar Jackson.
Oh shit! Yeah.
So, this guy could. I don't know if this is his last chance. He's a really young guy. Great pass catcher. Everybody knows that. Let's see what he can do.
Just gotta stay healthy. And with that, they got a lot of weapons there, so he doesn't have to do much.
Right. So yeah, Matt Ryan, Todd Gurley, Julio Jones. Man, this division is stacking up, and we haven't even talked about the final team on the list here, the Carolina Panthers. I just want to bring up ranked 31st in total defense last year.
Horrible.
And they spent all 7 draft picks on defense.
No shit.
Not a single offensive pick. It was the first time in the modern era that a team has gone all defense in the draft.
They think they got their quarterback, so didn't have to waste a pick there.
Who do they?
Yeah, Mr. Teddy Bridgewater.
We were thinking of ranking the 4 quarterbacks here in the division, and then I was like, why don't we rank the 4 quarterbacks on the Carolina Panthers?
Yeah, that could be interesting.
They've got Teddy B. They've got Cam Newton still.
I'm pretty sure he got released.
Oh, okay. Kyle Allen.
Yeah.
He started a bunch of games last year. Guy out of Texas A&M.
Will Grier.
Yeah, he's there. Moving on to other positions, some pickups at wideout. They got Robbie Anderson from the Jets.
Yeah.
That's a dude that, if you're playing fantasy and, whether you're season long or daily, sometimes you get the itch, or maybe you see a bargain there. Robbie Anderson sitting there, you want to roll the dice, and he comes up big for you.
Perfect bye-week fill-in.
Exactly.
Robbie
Somebody,
Anderson.
maybe you keep him on your bench, maybe you got a bye week coming up, you got to slide him in, and hopefully you just cross your fingers, and hopefully he lets one rip.
He'll get 2 touchdowns and 150 yards or something.
Yeah, also at wideout, Seth Roberts.
Yeah.
Dude's a journeyman. He's kind of you barely remember this guy's name, Seth Roberts, and then on Sunday you're watching Red Zone,
stealing
boom,
touchdowns.
There he is,
stealing touchdowns. Yeah, and then I mean their two favorite receivers, Curtis Samuel and DJ Moore. I mean, both those guys are just fast as hell.
Yep.
DJ Moore, he's got some of the best hands in the game. He doesn't ever drop passes. Only 4 touchdowns though for DJ Moore. That's kind of
maybe he's a late bloomer. Yeah, he's saving it. Hopefully for this season.
Basically all you need is Christian McCaffrey though.
Yeah, that guy, Christian McCaffrey. I picked him, I think, 2nd overall last year in the fantasy draft, and kind of just set it and forget it with him. He was all over the place.
Over 1,000 yards receiving.
Yeah.
For a running back.
Mm-hmm. He does it all. He really, really does. And when Newton went down with the injury, and you got basically a rookie quarterback nobody's ever heard of trying to lead the team, and you just got to rally around yourself and do what you were born to do, which is apparently he's doing it, man.
Yeah, everything. He's a freak athlete. That
he only adds to what this division is bringing this year. I mean, especially after that statement he made last year, and just bringing that in. And the year before that, he was doing pretty much the same thing. He just ramped it up to 11 because he didn't have Cam back there.
Yep. And they're probably the worst team you could say in the division, but still.
Okay.
They could go either way. Teddy Bridgewater can show up. I mean, he's like efficient as a quarterback.
I'll say it now. I'm rooting for Teddy. If it was my team, I would want Teddy probably to start week.
Yeah, especially after that injury.
Yeah,
that was pretty gruesome.
And then if you've got the guy Kyle Allen, if he's gonna be your guy eventually, I don't know what kind of deal Bridgewater has, but if Kyle Allen's he can't be costing you very much. I don't know where he was drafted, but he probably can't. That's probably not a problem there.
He ain't staying.
One more thing I want to bring up with the Panthers is their head coach. They have switched it up. They've got the college coach, former Baylor Bears head coach, Matt Rule.
I forgot about that.
He's there. One of their 7 defensive picks was actually a defensive tackle, Bravarion Roy, out of Baylor.
From Baylor.
From Baylor. He's going. He knows the system, whatever system they're going to play. Matt Rule was coaching the Big 12. I'm guessing he was an offensive guy, but he's definitely just throwing his net and trying to rope one of these defenders. They drafted a defensive tackle, another lineman, a couple of defensive backs, cornerback, safety. The guy from Baylor is a defensive tackle. Another defensive back to end the draft. I mean, they're gunning for it. They
needed some help. So
exactly. And I mean, to sum things up, man, I cannot wait for football.
Yes.
Especially not getting baseball this year. Jones.
Apparently baseball might be back on.
Oh, okay.
I heard some stuff.
Well, I guess I won't close off that chapter of my life quite yet.
There's still a chance. I think they're thinking 70 games.
So you're saying there's a chance.
For the next 2 years, 70 games or some shit like that.
Okay.
Which, I mean, it's baseball.
Hey, you show me baseball, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, thanks for tuning in today, guys, to listen to us or watch us, however you're taking this in. Listening to us break this down. The NFC South, going to be a division to watch. Maybe not the division to watch, but man, they're going to be exciting to watch from pole to pole. I mean, got all these quarterbacks playing each other twice. That's going to be great. If you want to reach out to us, you can leave a comment on this video, subscribe to our channel. Reach out to us on Twitter, @InTheGrassPod on Twitter. If you want to email us inthegrasspod@gmail.com. If you want to be a guest on the show, let us know. Hit us up. We can work something out. Let us know what you want to talk about. Thanks, guys. We'll see you later.
Bye, guys.